Is something going on here? Is there something to this whole Eugenio Suarez thing? Now, if you didn't know, during the All-Star game, I guess scrum, if you will, somebody did ask Suarez about the potential of maybe the Yankees trading for him, and this is what he had to say.
How would you feel about a trade to a contender with maybe a better playoff chance?
I mean, Yankees is Yankees. I feel like it's a team who want to win. They had the test from last year, but they're hungry still. If I go over there, like I said, I will do my best over there, try to help them win the World Series.
All right. I mean, is there something that we don't know that he knows, that others know? Suarez this season, I've gone over his numbers a bunch now, but Suarez this year is having a nice offensive season, hitting 250, 31 home runs, 78 RBI with an 889 OPS, a 142 OPS plus. Is he having a good year at third base? Not the best, but hey, he provides that thump in that lineup that the Yankees are kind of looking for. Once upon a time, the Yankees were reportedly looking for a right-handed power bat to insert over there at third base rather. And Eugenio Suarez fits the bill. The only thing is, Suarez is turning 34 very soon, and he will be a 2-month rental. So it depends what the Diamondbacks are going to want for him. And even if you get Zach Gallen back in the trade, still Gallen's having a bad year, and he's a free agent at the end of the year. So if Gallen was having a good year, maybe I would think about putting in one of our bigger prospects. But as of right now, I'm hesitant to do that, especially a guy like Spencer Jones, who was just hitting incredibly well down there in the minors, just tearing the cover off the ball in AAA. Am I supposed to be okay with the Yankees parting with a guy like Spencer Jones, who is the hottest hitter in minor league baseball? I don't know. But it appears that where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's a lot of smoke here. Were the people at the All-Star game, or that were in charge of the commercials and all that jazz, do they know something that we don't? There was a commercial, an All-Star game commercial, where Suarez was sitting in a booth and Max Fried and Carlos Rodon were sitting in their own respective booth, and Suarez waved at them. Now, it could have just been, hey, this, whatever, right? It could have just been a thing where, hey, it doesn't mean anything. We're just shooting a commercial. It's a coincidence. Well, I don't know if it is. Are they foreshadowing something? Are the Yankees working on something? I don't know. I don't know if, the PR people would really know what the Yankees are doing, what Brian Cashman is doing. I truly don't. And I'm talking about the All-Star game people, not the Yankee people. But even at that, it's just, everything just seems really weird, really strange. And it really does seem that there's a lot of smoke here when it comes to Suarez and the New York Yankees. He's more than willing to come here. Recently, maybe a week or two ago, Suarez also mentioned that he kind of doesn't want to get traded, and now his tone is changing a bit. He would not mind being a New York Yankee. And that sounds good. That's cool. But as I've said before, you can't stop at Suarez. You have to go out and get more. You have to go out and improve that bullpen. They're talking about David Robertson as a potential option. He's a free agent. The Yankees, as well as the Mets, are going to go watch him throw. We'll see what happens after that. But we need to address that bullpen. We maybe even need a starting pitcher. To go get Suarez, you may have to include Cam Schlittler and Spencer Jones. I don't want to do that. Because we have to think about the trade deadline and what it means now. So many more teams are in the running for a postseason berth. Last year, I've brought this up so many times, and you know this. Last year, when the Yankees first off traded for Mark Leiter Jr., I believe they traded a top 10 prospect for him. Jack Neely, I think he was a top 10 prospect. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But we all saw what the Marlins received for Tanner Scott last year. A 2-month rental, a relief pitcher, a very good one, but a reliever. The Padres, I believe, traded away 3 of their top 5 prospects in their organization for Tanner Scott. That was a king's ransom for a reliever. Now we're talking about a guy who's going to basically play every day in Eugenio Suarez. What the heck are the Diamondbacks going to command, especially if the Yankees are not the only team in on him? Because last year, the Padres weren't the only team in on Scott. So that's what caused, I guess, the price to skyrocket. So if there are multiple teams, which we've heard the Seattle Mariners are interested in a reunion with Suarez, will there be a bidding war? And if there will be, I mean, the Yankees may have to, if they want Suarez that bad, they may have to trade away Spencer Jones and Schlittler. And I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. I've said it before. And I've seen in the comments, oh, Yankee fans overvalue their own prospects. Spencer Jones, look at his numbers. I could be wrong, but I think he's the best minor league hitter in baseball. He's having the best minor league season. He's 23 home runs, over 1,000 OPS, a 1,200 OPS over his last month of play. He's hitting incredibly well. Of course, he's going to have a ton of value right now. Of course he is. So unless I'm getting back a player with control and who I'm going to have beyond this year and even beyond next year, I'm not moving on from Spencer Jones unless you are a superstar. Unless you are a surefire superstar. Now, Suarez is putting up those kinds of numbers. He's at the top of the MLB in home runs. Top 5 at least. Now, he's turning 34, though. So even if you extend him, you're going to throw him a 3-year deal until he's 37? I don't know if you're going to do that either. I'm not saying he can't be good for the next 3 seasons, but he's 34. Father Time comes after us all. It just happens. Especially with these professional sports. It's a young man's game, right? It's what they say. Eugenio Suarez, though, I really think, as I've said, there could be something in the works here. There's just way too much going on. And as I said, where there's smoke, there's something there. Maybe I'm looking too much into this, but I think there's something here. And it's just a matter of time when we start hearing the Yankees and Diamondbacks are negotiating a trade to send Suarez to the Yankees. It's just a matter of time. But we'll see. The Yankees last year traded for Jazz a few days before the deadline. Wasn't at the deadline, so maybe something happens within the next 10 days or 7 to 10 days, and we get Suarez. I don't know. I'm not sure. But what I do know is this. If we were to add him, we're adding 31 home runs. 31 home runs and 889 OPS. He's the best offensive third baseman in baseball. The best offensive third baseman in Major League Baseball. If anybody doesn't want that, because of his on base being 320, I think that's a little silly if you don't want him because of his on base percentage. 889 OPS, 31 home runs. What are we talking about? His on base percentage almost has a 900 freaking OPS. Juan Soto walks all the time. He walks all the time, and his on base. His on base isn't. It's more than Suarez. It's higher than Suarez, but it's not like Juan Soto has an OPS 100 points higher than Suarez. No, Juan Soto's OPS is 905. That's his OPS, and Juan Soto's on base is 396. By the way, this is a guy with the career 418 on base. Wow, I didn't think it was that low, but it is. But he's picked it up a lot. Anyway, we're not talking about Juan. We're talking about Suarez. I think there could be something here with that commercial. I know it's just a commercial, so maybe it's just a coincidence. But with the commercial, with just how it seemed, I don't want to say enthusiastic, but it seemed like, hey, he's very open to being a Yankee. Where after a few weeks ago, he wasn't open to going anywhere. He wanted to stay in Arizona. Now he wants to be a Yankee. I think there's something here, guys. I think there's something here. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.